about to turn it up.
We are back with the Can-Am from the 7th of this month, and we have a lot to talk about. First of all, the driver that flipped in the heats was okay. I found out that, and you guys did too. We're gonna go jumping into that right now. Gotta close a few things. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna start with the limited Sportsman that was on the docket. We're going to start with the heats because you guys are the hot laps because you guys don't get to see those. Brandy Howard in the 54 ran a 20.073. Look, this guy has been the hot shoe all season for the last 3 races. Logan Brown, the number 9. He ran a 20.7494. 14, Clement Cook, 21.4344. And the last but not least, because I'm only going to do the top 4, the 63M of Anthony Brownin. He ran a 21.348. Now, the heats, and I'm going to do this from top to bottom. The heats, Kevin Cook won the heat, came from 4th and finished 1st. Logan Brown, he was trying his hardest to get to the 1st place, but couldn't get the job done. He started 8th in the field in the heat and finished 2nd. And top 5 transferred. The 63M of Anthony Brownin went from 2nd to 3rd, and the 54 of Brandy Howard went from 6th to 4th. The 11 of Genevieve Bartlett went from 3rd back to 5th. There's something wrong with her car. Daddy needs a new motor. I think that motor is kind of going, I'm done. The feature went like this. The first one was the 63M of Anthony Brownin, found by his dancing partner, the 11 of Genevieve Bartlett. They fell back from 1st to 2nd and 3rd and 2nd. But Logan Brown, the winner of the limited Sportsman, he went from 5th and finished 2nd. The 14 of Kim and Cook went from 3rd to 2nd. So congratulations to those two. Genevieve Bartlett finished 4th. Anthony Brownin finished 3rd. And the top 5, Tim Hazley in the 40X finished 5th. Right now, moving on to the ThunderCars, nobody did hot laps. Only 2 people. 2 people did hot laps. Everybody else stayed back. The 41 of Terry Gardner, and a lot of DFs. The 26R of Beckler, the 22 of Tony Fresno, the 22J of Jared Gilson, the Justin Pope ride DNS. So they ran, the only 2 that ran 16.770 and a 28.799. Terry Gardner was a 27.99 in the 41. He went from one of one, went like this. OJ White and his dancing partner was Terry Gardner, and he fell all the way back to 6. Top 5 transferred. AJ St. Mary's Senior and Junior, both DNFs. I don't remember which one flipped, but they are required. You're required by dirt or any racetrack to wear your lap belts, guys. That's what happens if you don't wear your lap belts. You're gonna get killed. The winner of the heat was the 60 of Francis White, followed by the 94 of O.J. White. 26 of Damian Beckler came in third, and Tony Fresno in the number 4th came and went from 5th to 4th in the 22 of Tony Fresno. The 22 Jared Gilson went from 4th to 5th, and that's where he stayed. The next one, the feature, and back the heats for the Panther Frameworx. Sorry, the fastest one that ran his lap was the 1V of Josh Ben Jr. He ran a 18.695 X89X. Chris Nathers ran an 18.971. Donner Tuckerton in the 28Z ran a 19.3585. And I don't remember what the fastest lap was, but top 3 transferred in their heat, and well, you know who won. Top 3, Josh Van Jr. He went from 4th to 2nd. The number 30 of Kevin Kesley went from 2nd and fell back to 2nd, stayed there. And then 89X, Chris Neathers went from 1st back to 3rd. Their feature went like this. The 87 and these two, if you watch it, these two, he was digging. He was trying to find something out there. But with the rain coming with a little sprinkle on the track, I think it kind of made his car a little bit loose. But the 87X of Andrew Ness won the feature. He went from 5th and went all the way up to 1st. The 1B of Josh Van Jr. went from 3rd to 2nd. The 30 of Ken Skyley went from 2nd and fell back. To 3rd. The 44 of Tyler Tuckerson stayed in 5th and stayed there. Went from 4th and stayed in 4th. And now we get to the big block of the 358 Sportsman's. This is the Sportsman's. A lot of people ran the hot laps. The 18 of Gesden Isley, he had, I am ashamed of him, because if you watch the video, there was a lot of bumper usage. And this is how the hot laps went. 18 of Gesden Isley ran a 20.386. The 44 of David Rogers went from 22nd to 2nd, and he ran a 20.380. 410 Mike Fowler went from 7th to 3rd, and he ran a 20.3 or 4313. The 0 of Andrew I'm not even sure how to say this kid's name. Went from 1st back to 4th. His car is kind of saying goodbye. 20.466. The 64 of Tyler Corcoran. He went from 3rd and went back to 5th. 20.565. And their hot heats, the first of 3 heats Paul Denard stayed in first and stayed there. Eric Nyer went from fifth, started fifth and went up to second. The 707 of Jared Blinklow went from third back and stayed there. The 35B of Brandon Moore went from fourth and stayed there. Top four transferred. The second one, and this is a gentleman that I am going to be interviewing. The 17 of Owen Nyers went from second to first. Josh Reome in the 91 went from fourth all the way up to second. The 35B or D of Denton Moore went from first and fell back to third. The 410 of Mike Fowler went from seventh to fourth. Top four transferred. Jessica Power, I don't think she's doing real well. She's trying though. With an DIRTcar, you gotta give them credit. The last heat of the heat for the Sportsman. 18 of Gavin Isley went from fourth to first. 5R of Robert Stephen went from first and fell back to second. The 44 of David Roger went from seventh to third. And the 64 Tyron Corker went from fifth to fourth. Top four qualified. And their feature, the last, second to the last feature, the 91 of Josh Reome, the 35B of Brendan Moore, the 410 of Mike Fowler, he tried to get up there, the 18 of Gavin Isley, the Fox 28 finished fifth, Eric Nyers finished sixth, the 27 of Owen Nyers finished seventh, and the 35B of Brandon Moore finished 8th. Paul Bernard in the 1D finished 9th. And Jessica Powers rounded out the top 10. So your top 5 are as followed. The 91 of Josh Reome, the 35B of Brendan Moore, the 410 of Mike Fowler, 18 of Gavin Isley, the Fox 28 of Tyler Stevenson. Finished your top 5. In the last feature of the night, their time lapse went like this: the 21R of Tesla, J.R. Tesla, he went from 16th to 1st, and he ran a 19.223. The 36B of Damian Beechler, he ran a 19.393 or 93 in the 36B. 28 Jordan McCready. Still miss your dad, man. Still miss your dad. 19.423 fastest lap probably. Andrew Howard, the 21. He ran a 19.5 or 451, and the last but not least, the 9 of Meeks, he ran a 19.475. Billy Dunn, I'm pretty sure that he's trying to get up there, but something's not right with the car or the track. I think his car likes a wet track. But he finished 6th in the heat, and he was at 4th place, but he fell back to 6th. So, a lot of people, like I said, in the Sportsman's, a lot of bumper use. There was another red flag that night with the Sportsman's. All I know is when I looked over at turn 4, you could see one of the cars straight up in the air. So I'm glad all the drivers that did go out, they tried their best. Their heats went like this: 3 heats for the Bob Johnson or the Whitesboro Plow Shop. Heat 1. Cameron Black went from second to first. Tim Fuller in the 19 went from 8th to second. Lucas Fuller in the 74 went from first and fell back to third. Frank Meeks in the 3M went from third to fourth. Top 4 qualified for the heat to transfer. Second heat went like this, and the dancing partner, it never changed. First and second stayed the same. 21 R.J. Tesler and 57 of Remington Ham. The number third spot was the 45R Preston Forbes, went from fourth to third. Billy Dunn went from sixth to fourth, and he was digging. He was digging in there, so top 4 qualified, transferred. The last and final heat for the 358s, the top did switch, but it did not change that much. 9 of Meeks went to first. The 36B of Dan Beckler, Beach Hard, and the 66W of Derek Webb. That's another person I'm going to be interviewing when they have autograph night. 27 of Nick Webb. I'm going to be doing him and both of them both together if they're side by side. He went from third to fourth, and he stayed. The rest of them, the 24 of Jordan Kelly, the 21 of Andrew Howard, and the 310 of Lance Willix. A lot of people, only one DNF in a lot of DNFs in the 358s. But your winner of the 358s, the 19 of Tim Fuller, went from 12th to 1st. Billy Dunn tried to get up there but couldn't. I think if he would have had like 4 more laps, he would have been able to get his first win this year. He went from 11th to 2nd. 9 of Meeks went from 6th to 3rd. 27W of Nick Webb went from 8th to 4th. And rounded out your top 5. Jackson Gill in the 60 went from 20th to 5th. Jordan McCready in the 28 went from 22nd to 6th. Lance Wilkes in the 31 went from 21st to 7th. Ryan Bartlett in the 39 went from 17th to 8th. Preston Forbes in the 45R went from 9th and stayed there. Kevin Black in the 23 went from 4th and fell back to 10th. That was your top 10. Now, I want to go back to the feature, or the heats for the Thunderstock. And I'm going to tell you, if you look, and I don't think they caught it. If you look at the video, and you look at when they, when Senior goes into the backstretch, I don't know the car's number, but I think he was getting pushed down there. But he did flip. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna. They need to make it so that, like another track I went to, they would check the drivers' belts every race before they went, as they were coming in and as they were going out on the track. I think that's what Can-Am needs to start doing, because if that happens again and somebody doesn't have their belt on, they're going to get hurt. But some of the videos are not digitized. I don't know why. The program is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. I tried 3 times, but every time I did, it sounded like somebody was squishing the microphone. But I am trying to find another program where I can edit and make it so that it's digitized, so you guys have a better view. I am still gonna be doing a live when I do the track side. That is still in the on the card. So I hope you guys join me for that. And that's it for Can-Am for the 7th. I guess all I can say is all the drivers. I made them cookies. I made all the staff and all of the drivers and their families cookies. And from what I was told, they were giving the they were giving a lot of cookies away. I made too much from what they've told me, but I wanted to make sure that everybody got a cookie that night. The last night that we went. One of the guys asked me, one of the ladies out there asked me if I was gonna do it again. I told her yes. Same thing, 6 trays, but I won't fill them up this time. But I will see you guys next week. I'll keep you up to date because according to what the Weather Channel is saying, and I can show you it right now. According to what the Weather Channel is saying, almighty weather. Friday, early, that's what it's saying for the other thing, but we have a train coming. So I will see you guys later. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe. And I'm out of here. Oops.
About to turn it on.